probably heard of Los Alamos Laboratory. We're a nuclear weapons facility founded in the early 40s called the Manhattan Project. We've grown to about 9,000 employees, about another 3,000 contractors. Last year our budget hit a high of $3.3 billion. We're very project oriented. That's our business is basically projects. My name is Ware Hartwell and I am the manager of the IT PMO at the laboratory. BI analytics are a great tool, that they're an enabler, especially when you have the e-business suite connected to it. Certainly for us, the partnership with BICG was critical, and the ability to deploy some of their key tools was critical to the success of the project, that we could not have done it without them. We have about $760 million worth of procurements that flow through our organization every year, so it's a very large number. We are the largest employer in the state after the state of New Mexico. New Mexico is a third world state. You may or may not know that. The consequence of that is that our congressional delegation is very interested in how we engage our community. And so one of the best ways we can do that is through our procurement process.
My name is Brent Cardell. I'm the director of the BI practice for the West region for BICG. So BICG, we're about 5 years old. Up until a month ago, we focused exclusively on Oracle Business Intelligence. We stem back from the Enquire days. Enquire was the company that actually developed the BI platform. The story goes that Siebel acquired Enquire, and then ultimately Oracle acquired Siebel.
So just as by way of a little bit of background, how do we connect with or match ourselves up with BICG? They were actually a part of the presentation when we met with Oracle about the possibilities that the BI tool would represent. They had extensive experience with business intelligence, as Brent had alluded to earlier, but perhaps for us more importantly, they also had extensive experience with the e-business suite. That not only were they able to deploy custom-based business intelligence capabilities, but also that is tied to the e-business suite. The other thing that was important to us was this idea that we could have a mentor-mentee relationship with them, but for us it was really important that we had as much learning and knowledge transfer as possible. The BICG University, of course, was key to us as well, that we really wanted to hit the ground running and train up our staff as much as possible. We did learn from that just-in-time training for the staff works much better than piling everybody into a class and then taking some n number of months before you can actually put that training to use. The impact tool, that was really key to us, and it remains so for us. We don't use the data lineage component of it so much because we tend to document our data lineage pretty rigorously as we're doing our ETL work and metadata mapping. But for us, with the value of the impact tool is really about its ability to help us identify the fit gap, the gaps in where we don't have data, where we don't have information. It helps us go back in an iterative approach and go find out where we can get data or where we're missing data as far as having a complete presentation. If you're interested in the why procurement and these analytics, for us it was really important that we, as much as possible, we like to try to do out-of-the-box implementation of both the e-business suite and then being able to have this plug-in module was something that was really going to be key to us. I think the other thing I would mention about the procure and spend module is that it was one step to build, a key step for us to build a competency in the BI tool. Our primary ERP is based on the Oracle e-business suite. We have several of the modules, everything from procurement through human resources, project accounting, but we're very heterogeneous. We have a number of legacy applications. We have data and transactional information in a database, a DB2 system, as well as some other Oracle systems. We even have one of the last remaining VAX computers in use as part of our inventory process. We have an Oracle-based data warehouse. Again, it tends to be very legacy-facing. To to talk a little bit about the solution timeline. I'm not sure if you've been to some of the other presentations about business intelligence. I would say that we took the scenic route. There was a decision made that we would implement this using a Linux platform, and the staff just had no success with using the Linux platform, and so we abandoned it and went into the Windows environment. Windows is really the native platform for BI, the BI product anyway. I sent my staff up to Minneapolis, told them, take a laptop, get this thing, get something please. And literally 2 weeks later they came back with a development environment. And so in August then we had our first major release of the project analytics, excuse me, not project analytics, but the procure and spend. We spent about a month, 6 weeks as a priority to get into the single sign-on environment using the e-business suite responsibilities. We also began to produce product for the human resources module. So we have human resources operations. We've made a significant investment in these plug-in modules. And so in addition to HR and accounts payable, we have supplier performance, we have compensation. Again, I told you earlier that for us the holy grail was project analytics. Project analytics became available as a part of the 796 package in the business intelligence tool. And so to get that, as soon as it came available this past summer, we shifted our energy to upgrading to the 796 environment. We are in our final beta testing for the platform component of that upgrade right now, and the application upgrade, which is considerably more complex because you have the mappings and things like that that you've got to make sure are all working right. We're hoping to finish that by the end of the year, and then soon after that start to produce project analytics dashboards. One of the things that we talk about, the skills transfer was a top priority. It really was. It actually drove the schedule as much as everything else. My expectation of the staff was that we were going to move only as quickly as they gained knowledge. That it was a bit of a challenge, I think, for the BICG staff. They're extremely experienced in this work, and they have a very effective methodology. And we said that's great, but make sure the staff's questions are answered.
Whenever I could come up with something along the lines of the project where it would be something we want to do over and over again. Let's say we wanted to create a new dimension from scratch, or a new hierarchy or something of that sort. We would sit down with the team and go through how you go about doing that, answer all the questions, discuss various trade-offs, that kind of thing. And that approach worked really well because after the first time through with each new learning, the team became self-sufficient.
It was extremely tactical. You know, Charles would give what he thought was a challenging assignment. If they had mastery over that, he would give them another assignment that would be perhaps more challenging. In the meantime, he would be doing like the hardest work, the heaviest lifting that we had to have. But even then, after that was complete, we would circle back around and make sure everybody understood and that it was a documented effect exactly what happened. You know, the composite experience of the consultants really allowed, in addition to us learning from them, it also allowed us to weigh choices. They didn't always agree as to what the right solution was. And so by listening to their dialogue, especially with the 796, we were able to navigate what we thought would be the most expeditious process as possible.
The model of a mentee-mentor type of model has certainly worked for Los Alamos National Labs. We look forward to continuing the partnership as we embark on the upgrade and the project analytics work throughout the next year.